Let's talk about the process of admitting a new partner into a partnership and what happens when they contribute assets. Imagine a partnership as a team where each member has a stake in the game. Now, let's say a new player, Joe Cantor, wants to join the team. Instead of buying a share from existing players, Tom Andrews and Nathan Bell, Joe decides to bring in his own contribution, a fresh $20,000. When Joe hands over his $20,000 to the team's pot, two things happen. The team's total pot, or in accounting terms, the total assets of the partnership, gets bigger by $20,000 because now they have more cash to work with. Joe's stake in the game, the total owner's equity, also increases because he has put in his own money for a piece of the action. In essence, Joe's cash has just boosted both the assets and the equity of the partnership. And just like that, with a simple cash contribution, Joe is part of the team. This is one common way to welcome a new partner into a business. No need for the existing partners to sell any of their shares, and the business itself gets a financial boost. The journal entry is pretty straightforward. Here's what we do. We debit the cash account because the partnership's cash balance is increasing by $20,000. This is the partnership saying, "We've got more money in our cash register." We credit the Joe Cantor capital account for the same amount, $20,000. This is our way of acknowledging Joe's stake in the partnership. In the language of accounting, a debit to cash reflects an increase in assets. A credit to Joe Cantor capital signifies an increase in owner's equity, specifically for Joe. Before Joe came into the picture, Bring It Consulting had net assets of $100,000. These are what the business owns after settling what it owes. Now, Joe Cantor contributes $20,000 in cash to the partnership. Here's the effect of Joe's money move. The net assets of the partnership go up by $20,000 because of the cash that Joe contributed. At the same time, Joe's capital account is credited with $20,000. Tom Andrews and Nathan Bell still have their $50,000 each in the partnership, untouched and unaffected by Joe's entry. So, after Joe joins the team, the total owner's equity of Bring It Consulting also increases to $120,000. Out of this, Joe's share is $20,000. When a new player is joining our game, it's only fair that they step in with a clear picture of what the team's assets are actually worth today, not just what they were worth when they were first recorded. So, if the partnership's assets have gone up or down in value, we need to adjust the books to reflect their current value. The bottom line is, we want to avoid a situation where the new partner unfairly shares in the gains or losses that occurred before they joined. So, we make sure the books are up to date to show the real score at the moment they become part of the team. So, before Joe Cantor joins the partnership, the existing partners need to ensure all the assets are valued correctly in the books. Once that's done, Joe can come into the partnership with a clear understanding of what he's getting into. No surprises. This image presents a problem where we're dealing with the revaluation of assets in a partnership before a new partner is admitted, and then recording the new partner's investment. Let's walk through it. The partnership owns land that was initially recorded at a book value of $200,000. But now, the fair market value of this land is $260,000. That means the land is actually worth $60,000 more than what the books say. Since Lynn Lawrence and Tim Kerry share net income in a 1-to-2 ratio, they'll also share this increase in asset value in the same ratio. Here's how it breaks down. Lynn's share of the increase equals 1/3 of $60,000, which is $20,000. Tim's share of the increase equals 2/3 of $60,000, which is $40,000. The journal entry to record this revaluation of land would be, debit land $60,000, credit Lynn Lawrence, capital $20,000, and credit Tim Kerry, capital $40,000. Blake Nelson is coming into the partnership and he's bringing $45,000 cash to the table. He'll receive an ownership equity of $45,000 in return. Here's the journal entry for Blake's admission. Debit cash $45,000 and credit Blake Nelson, capital $45,000. This entry shows that the partnership's cash, an asset, is increasing by $45,000, and at the same time, Blake's capital account is being credited to reflect his contribution to the partnership's equity. This lesson taught us how partnerships evolve with new contributions, ensuring that everything is fair and square for all partners involved, old and new.